Some hospitals in our area are deciding to stop offering labor and delivery services.
More units are closing their doors every day, leaving expectant mothers to drive long distances and putting some of them at risk. Brittany Bivens has more now in this Alabama News Network Extra Delivery Miles. For many hospitals, closing labor and delivery units, it all comes down to one thing: resources. But that's exactly the same problem some expectant mothers face when they are left without vital medical care nearby.
I'm getting hungry.
Wendy Weiss remembers everything about the day she gave birth to her 2-month-old daughter.
We left here at 2, so I had to drive slow because the wildlife was out in abundance that morning.
During the 1 hour and 45-minute drive from her home in the Wilcox County town of Pine Hill to Tuscaloosa.
We had to drive slow and I was so nervous. That's a long drive to sit and think about things.
Weiss was supposed to have her baby at Brian Whitfield Memorial Hospital in Demopolis. But in late March, just 5 weeks before her due date, the hospital closed the labor and delivery unit without notice.
I was shocked and upset to know that the doctor that I'd been seeing the whole time was not going to be able to deliver my baby.
It's been sad.
More than 20 women were scheduled to give birth at Brian Whitfield that month. Dr. Tiffany Ward moved to Demopolis because she wanted to deliver babies.
We have women here that have a hard time even getting to our clinic. And so now they're coming to us saying, what do I do? And they can't travel 60 miles to the doctor, and we're kind of rendered helpless.
There's that little arm.
Most of her patients must now travel to Selma, Montgomery, or Tuscaloosa, all at least an hour drive away.
Certainly, if it were my wish and I had the magic wand, I would make it reappear right away.
Demopolis Mayor Mike Grayson is part of a task force looking at ways to reopen the unit.
Just the thought that there will never be any more babies born in Demopolis, that's kind of sad.
There was a proposal to build a women's pavilion here to handle all kinds of women's health issues, but now the mayor says those plans are dead.
You've got a stagnant population, declining birth rates, and then in our part of the world, we have a very high percentage of Medicaid births.
He says the hospital needs about $500,000 a year to reopen labor and delivery, money it does not have. Here at Crenshaw Community Hospital, labor and delivery has been closed for a year, but some county officials tell me it hasn't had quite the impact they expected. County Commissioner Merrill Sports says he was against the hospital board's decision to close the unit, but he says most people haven't complained.
If we don't hear from them, that's usually good news.
Hospital administrators say federal cuts and fewer births sliced into the hospital's general budget. Even though Sport was against the unit's closure last year, he says most women in Luverne and surrounding communities can make the 25-minute drive to the closest hospital.
It was a big issue at one time when we were talking about closing the OB, but I think we're probably a little more unique. We have a little more options. With Troy picking up some slack and a lot of people, being served out of Montgomery, I think we've been okay.
But Dr. Ward says women in rural areas have fewer options to get the medical care they need.
Babies could be born at home or die. Alabama and Mississippi have the largest infant mortality in the United States, and closing departments like this in an area that feeds so many patients, it's only going to get worse.
Officials in Crenshaw County tell me the labor and delivery unit in Luverne is closed for good. But Demopolis Mayor Mike Grayson says he still has not given up on funding a plan that could reopen the wing at Brian Whitfield. For Alabama News Network, I'm Brittany Bivens. Now back to you.
All right, thanks, Brittany. Before their closures, Crenshaw County Community Hospital's unit had been delivering babies for 20 years. Brian Whitfield